It appears the chances of remote parliament occurring next week are increasing, as well as Labor having few Victorians attending. I'm told they'll also have few Queenslanders attending because of the nature of the quarantine rules imposed by the state CMO, which are perceived as too hard for people with young families to obey when they return in terms of having to isolate for 14 days. The Department of Parliamentary Services is contacting all MPs who can't travel to see what equipment they have. For MPs to be part of a video link, they'll have to use parliamentary laptops, they're being told, patch in from their electorate offices, no home connections like we've seen in the UK, no footy jumpers. People will have to obey the dress rules for the chamber. You'll have to give 15 minutes notice if you are remote that you want the call. Here's David Littleproud confirming a short time ago to you that he is actually attending, even though he's up in Queensland.
I'll be coming down, and whatever the restrictions are placed on returning to Queensland, I'll respect. I'm a proud Queenslander. I'll do as I'm asked. And obviously, but it's important that I have to come to Parliament. I'm the Agriculture Minister. Important that the opposition can ask questions and that I answer them openly in Parliament. I think it's an important process of our democracy and should be respected. And as a Cabinet Minister, obviously I have more responsibility than a backbencher, so I will be attending Parliament.
So, Tom, when Parliament resumes next week, one of the first orders of business will be this controversial legislation, education legislation around HECS fees for universities, which will see arts students and students in disciplines the government perceives as not being the best for getting jobs, having their fees substantially increased. We had a breakout on this issue last week with the Regional Education Minister, Andrew Gee, and National, putting out a statement expressing concern that some degrees like social work should not see students charge more, and this could be detrimental to mental health services and the ability to provide them in the bush. This is exposing the sorts of divisions in the Nationals we saw at the start of the year. Who should be the head of the Backbench Committee on Education than one Barnaby Joyce? Joyce told me this morning that he agreed with the legislation, not like Andrew Gee. Dan Tehan, the Education Minister, for his part, he's spoken to all 40 Vice-Chancellors about this legislation and is awaiting the end of feedback, but his proposal has gone through Cabinet, where there are 4 Nationals ministers and that Joyce-led Backbench Committee. Here is a statement from the Deputy Prime Minister, Michael McCormack, who Barnaby Joyce challenged earlier in the year in relation to Andrew Gee's comments. He says Ministers Gee and Tehan are continuing to ensure regional and rural education stakeholders are listened to as part of the consultation process for the Job Ready Graduates package. Just last week, Minister Tehan published draft legislation for feedback. The Liberals and Nationals are working together constructively to make sure the reforms we implement are the very best they can be. The government hopeful of getting this through the Senate despite Labor opposition, Tom.
Yeah, we'll see. I can sense a possible tweak coming, but not long to find out in Clennell. We'll talk this afternoon. Thank you.